to see him get out there and make some big plays last week, and but he's got to be consistent and do it every week. And from what he's shown, he's going to be, and we're excited about that.
Do you plan to have that kind of role for him going forward and being a big part of the receiving game, or is it kind of an audition last week against FCS?
No, what's actually, he had planned in the Alabama game. We just didn't get to a bunch of it, and he ran some plays and some of the stuff. He didn't get the opportunity to get the ball thrown to him, but he had a big part of the game plan. We just, with their bodies being bigger guys, we kind of went with DJ a little more, and he didn't have as many plays as maybe we originally thought. But he's a part of this offense. He's a big part of the offense, and I can't wait to see him flourish the rest of the season.
Logan mentioned that today he thought DJ may have turned a corner just in terms of practicing harder. Did you think he was not practicing hard enough?
No, DJ's been practicing fine. He played hard today. He plays hard every day. The big thing with DJ is just consistency, and I think that goes for everybody in the group. And I thought that he went out there today with a purpose. And there's a difference now between practicing hard and practicing hard with a purpose. And that's what I think he did today. And I think that anytime you're a senior and you go out and you play just a handful of plays in a game, it's going to open your eyes a little bit to what could potentially be going on. And I think that he took it upon himself to say, you know what, that's not going to happen again. And he practiced like it. And I was happy that he did that.
Did the jugs machine work, do you feel like, last week? Could you tell a difference even Saturday that you feel like maybe?
I don't know. It's too hard to tell. Like I said, them guys have been doing a pretty good job catching the ball. Just thought that they could use that extra. And it was good. We did it. We've done it today. We did it Sunday. We're going to do it a bunch. And, it's just anything more to get those guys with footballs in their hand. And I think getting those extra catches after practice from the jugs instead of just from someone throwing is important. And it may have looked like it was better on Saturday and all that stuff, catching the ball, but I expected that the first week. I expected the last week of the season, and it's just something extra for those guys, and maybe put a little pressure on them with some of their teammates watching and things, when kind of getting razzed a little bit, and it's fun.
You said it was a prelim speed at 40 miles per hour last week. Have you moved it up at all this week?
It was up a little bit today. Up last week a little bit at the end, and then put it up today about 44. And I don't really want to get it too much higher than that. Usually. For the most part, you're not getting past it too much faster than about 45, 46 anyway. So I won't go too much higher than that. I don't think there's a purpose. You don't want to get anybody's fingers broken or anything like that either. That's that'd be the worst case scenario. So you keep it at a good speed where they're getting good work, and it's more about the repetition of getting the different balls in the different spots and getting comfortable, not letting that ball get into your body.
Do you think it's realistic going forward to have as many people involved in the passing game as you did this week? Can you do that week after week, you think, or would you prefer to have it narrowed down? Or anything?
I want a bunch of guys involved. The last couple of years that I've been around coaching, when I was at Stanford, we played 6 guys a week, and all 6 had different roles, whether it was run game, pass game. And I like having multiple guys. It keeps the room involved. It keeps everybody excited. When only 2 or 3 guys are playing, you tend to lose the other guys in the room because they're not paying attention as much. When you get 6 guys and each guy knows he's got a specific role, it keeps the room fresh, and it keeps the competition open because guys know if you're not going to do it, someone else will, and I kind of always like that. And I think the best thing for our room right now is competition and getting these guys going, the Carlos Parkers of the world, getting Charlie Meyer back. I think that just brings competition to the room, and everybody knows they got to catch the ball, and they got to run the right routes, and they got to block the right people. And the better job that we do recruiting in the long run, that's what has that competition. And you look at what just walked out the door the last year with all those guys that have caught all those passes, plus DJ, plus Dimitri coming up, and that's competition, and I can't wait to get that really back going.
Why did Carlos Parker not start in this game? In the last game, was it his knees? Was it his performance? What was behind that?
DJ hadn't started for us since the beginning of training camp. Josh has been the starter since the beginning of training camp for the most part. DJ's been a guy that's gone in and done a good job. And, DJ's going to be a guy that's going to play a big role for this offense. But to ask him to go in and play 60 plays a game is probably not something that he can handle right now. So, Josh has done a good job, and we're going to keep pushing him. He needs to get better. He had a good game Saturday. It's good to see him get out there and do that. But Josh has done a good job, but he's got to get more consistent. And He's a young player. It's his first time starting, first couple games, and you know, he did a good job. But he played a bunch against Bama. He played obviously a lot this past week, and he's going to be a guy that Logan needs and that we need.
Is is it his knees or his conditioning? Well, why can't
His
he?
conditioning isn't an issue. That hasn't been an issue for a long time. It's just, you know, he needs to be able to play whatever plays we give him. He needs to play those plays at 100%. And if he's getting to the point where he can't handle playing 40 plays a game, well, then we're stupid for putting him in for 40 plays a game. And if it's 30, it's 30. If it's 20, it's 20. And, you know, that's just going to be his role. And he's willing to do whatever we're asking him to do. And, you know, I didn't really anticipate him playing 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 plays or whatever he played last game. I actually, when I watched the tape, was very surprised. I didn't even realize it Saturday. We were just kind of rolling. And but I don't anticipate that happening again. But it's going to be something that moving forward was probably better for him to understand that, you know, whether or not you're going to go into a game plan understanding that we don't need you. We want to have you, but we don't need you. And that's something that is awakening for every athlete. When all of a sudden it's, oh my God, they'll go on without me. That'll get you in gear real quick. And, you know, I think that was good.
You mentioned Carlos Parker a second ago. I mean, it seems like when he gets out there, he gets behind the secondary when he wants to. But is there a bigger role for him on this team this year, you think? Can you use him in different ways?
I don't know yet. We're trying to find that role. You know, a guy that really only played receiver for a couple of months now. And you know, you don't want to put too much on him. And you got to keep just transitioning him to the position. But he's done a good job. He's obviously a very fast player, really good athlete. And we just need to continue to get him to understand the position a little more, and you know, he does some really good things. I'm hoping by the end of the year he'll be a guy that can really, really, really help this offense, and I think that he will be.
To go back to DJ, sorry, is he not able